Hello dear students, I hope you all are fit and fine, and I also hope that you are enjoying at your home while sitting and learning on this virtual lecture. So today's topic is that depending over which we can say that a country, its structure, prosperity and everything is defined out. Let's talk about today's lecture. Today's lecture is depending upon the Indian Constitution. As you can see the board behind me, which is having a tag of the Indian Constitution Part 1. And the page number, you can focus on the page number 13 and 14 that is also mentioned by me. So Indian Constitution of the 8th standard, class 8 SS, that is written there, and the Constitution means the country related to the Constitution, preamble, assembly and all the rules and regulations. So if you go more further, there is a simple concept about the Constitution that you need to understand. But before you need to understand the simple basic theory about the Constitution, you need to also understand that what is Constitution. So we will see that the Constitution, as I have written the introduction about the Constitution, my dear students, introduction to the Constitution say that it's a systematic complication of the set of rules to run the government. Now, some rules we need to run the government also of a country. And we also need to understand that how a government of a country can be working out. So if you go more further, this lesson is all depending upon the basic theories, as I said you about it is formed due to people, rules, leaders and many more things here which is responsible for this basic criteria. And if you go more further, the Constitution is also related with all the basic amenities, necessities, and somehow we can say that it is related with the function on which the India can be working out. So my dear students, let's start the lesson here. If you talk about the chapter, 3 little kids are there. They are Heli, Priyanshi and Sachin. Now these 3 little kids, if you talk about the theory of the lesson in the paragraph 1, page number that is 13, are watching the match. Okay, the match is between, you can say that, like India and Sri Lanka. And now when the toss is won by any of the team, we can say that like Mahendra Singh Dhoni is batting at that World Cup match 2011. So there is a question, okay, just there is a question after the match is getting a finish. See, the India won the match, the World Cup is getting, India won the World Cup, just for example. But now somehow we can say that, okay, there is a question about the tie. When we can say that, okay, somehow the kids were watching the television or they were watching about the match of India and England, there was a tie. So somehow Heli is asking to the mom, Heli is asking that, okay, mom, can you tell me please what is the meaning of tie? What is the meaning of tie? And the mother is replying very sincerely that, just for the example here, mother is replying that everyone, if they enjoys the match, it is compulsory that match should be won by one single group. But if there is a tie, means the ICC cricket team has made some kinds of rules and regulations and all have to obey that rules and regulations. Same as India has also some rules and regulations and we need to obey that rules and regulations. Country needs to obey the rules and regulations. So in this theory we can say that the babies, or we can say the kids, are somehow taught by the mother that what are the rules and regulations. And therefore even the games like football, even the games like hockey, rugby, cricket, or we can say any game in which two teams are needing, two players are needing, more than 2 players are needing, there is a rule of tie. And if only one player is enough, it can be somehow no tie for that. So we need to understand that most of the games are having the tie here, as the mother is saying. And if you go more further, so their own set of the rules are making these ties, their own set of rules are also allowing them to do the toss and who will win the match or not match but a man of match will get. There are all basic other rules and regulations here. So this is a general theory where we can say a tie in the match is actually somehow having a question related to tie, where the little girl is asking to the mother and the mother is explaining about the tie also and the rules also, regulations also, and furthermore she is moving towards the constitution. So here we can say that now the mother will teach about the constitution and I will narrate whole of the story, or we can say I'll narrate whole of the theory about that. So in this case of theory, we can say that constitution is what? I have written you here, you just find out. A systematic complication of the set of rules to run a country or the government is also known as the constitution. So furthermore, constitution is related with the different factors also, with the different strategy also. But the one thing in the mind when the people framed the constitution, they kept was that it should be for the sovereignty of the India, integrity of the India, okay, it should be for the secularism of the India, it should be for the everybody for the India here. So we can say that constitution can be also a written document or it can be unwritten document also. Our constitution starts with the preamble. It starts with the preamble. Now what is preamble? You can say that is like a soul of the constitution. So if you go more further, without the preamble, constitution on some level can be having some kinds of problems or related with theories also. So we need to understand the preamble too here. And my dear student, I would also like to share you that whenever we are talking about the constitution, you need to understand that we all are the people, we all are the citizen of this land which is known as India, and we should be ready to serve the India and to follow the constitution. So the question arises, how was the constitution found or it was formed? Then relate with the people, rule and leaders too here. So I would like to share some of the details here. Therefore, the Constitution of India is somehow formed, or we can say it is actually the statement of, it is the statement of goals, aims such as ideas, we can say democratic values, okay, democracy, socialism, secularism, national unity and etc. Integrity too here. So we can say the Constitutional Assembly was established in keeping the mind that how we can benefit the people, how this constitution should be beneficial for the growth of the nation economically, infrastructurally. Out of the orthodoxy thinkings, how it can be going more better. So that was the general relative factor about the constitution. Same as if you go more further, the Constitutional Assembly was enforced, means it was generally enforced, established at the 9th of the December 1946. That you should remember the date here. That is 9th December, I'll write here the date, 9th December 1946. I have also written some of the date, I'll explain you this later. So now 9th December 1946 started to work out, and the Constitutional Assembly generally was formed at the prominent disguised people, or we can say at the prominent distinguishes between we can say scholars and leaders also. Now I'll tell you the names of scholars too here as well the leaders too here. Now whenever we need to make the constitution, whenever we need to establish a constitution, we need the basic factors. We need some experienced people, because without the experienced people it is not gonna work. So here we can say that the political visionaries were also called here, foreign scientists were also called here to make out the constitution, which were somehow we can say that very appropriate to that here. Now in the cooperated with each other, the constitution leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, you should remember the name Jawaharlal Nehru, he is a Chacha Nehru also, very famous among the kids here. So Jawaharlal Nehru, we can say that, then Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, okay, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, and many more leaders like we can say Shyama Krishna Verma Iyer, and like representative people also, they all were visiting and they all were somehow representing their theory to the constitution. Now if you talk about the religion aspect or the regional aspect, some of people also came forward to show that regionally also we are ready to support the constitution. So if you talk about the Anglo-Indian community, somehow it was a representative, we can say that under the guidance of Frank Anthony, the Anglo-Indian committee was also somehow represented, as well H.P. Modi represented the Parsi community of the system also. So we can say that all the committee had several meetings, various constitutional meetings, assemblies and many more things, get-togethers also. And therefore we can say scholars like Mr. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, or we can say that like scholars like Aladi Krishna Swami Iyer, then here B.R. Ambedkar Sahab, K.M. Munshi, etc. were also involved in the constitution. So my dear students, we need to understand that the constitution which we are talking about today is not a game theory which is generally written by any single person or a group of people. No, it has been also somehow written, or it has been actually written, framed by not only the group of people but by the group of scholars, national leaders, the pioneers who were somehow having their great mentality to frame India on the basis of their experience, theories, topical, we can say, values also, typical customs to here and practicality to here. So therefore we can say that there were female members also, not only the male members like Sarojini Naidu, or if you talk about like Vijayalakshmi Pandit was also there, and in that same case Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of Constitutional General Assembly to here. You can see on the page, that is the page number 14. You can go on the page number 14. So my dear student, we can say that Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the president of the Constitutional Assembly as well. There were a number of sub-constitution also, or we can say that there were a number of committees held to establish the constitution, and so Dr. Rajendra Prasad also related with that here. See, one thing is very clear and simple. Whenever we think about the prosperity of the nation, whenever we think about the durability of the system, we need to make a constitution. If there is a question, what will happen if there is no constitution? What will happen if there is no rules and regulations? Obviously, they are like, no country can work out properly. No country will adjust its economical level, infrastructure level, or we can say the level of prosperity also. It is not possible. So somehow we can say that the president and along with this committee members were also introduced in this Constitutional Assembly, and the theory was made for the analysis. Before the analyzation, nobody was allowed to enforce the constitution. So it should be analyzed well. Assembly should be also created for the constitution. Debate should be there, discussion should be there, okay, and we can say that every data should be fetched out, then only it can be enforced out. So moving further, we can say it was also electing some of the people as the Vijayalakshmi Pandit from the female grade, as well the Sarojini Naidu too here. And we can say that the Constitutional Assembly was also somehow formed for the people, as we know that. There were numbers of subcommittees taken care, or we can say it was taken care to various aspects of the constitution also. So the drafting committee generally, which was headed by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, was also introduced in the assembly, and at the time we can say that it was a period of like 2 years, 11 months, see my dear, 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to complete the constitution. Also, it was completed in 1949 and enforced in 1950. 1 year generally they took to study the constitution. 1 year they took to study the constitution so that they can enforce that constitution to the people. And if you go more in the detail, then I could say that constitution means it is actually a waving factor of a nation. See here, a constitution serves many objectives to the nations. Objects, not only the objectives, we can say that it also tells about that on which grade level country is going, where should be taken out. And furthermore, constitution is also related with the factors of the country, which how to run the democracy, how to move out the democracy, and how to manage its all the benefits well. And therefore we can say that it is also on behalf of the administrator and on our behalf also that people should follow the constitution. They should know the responsibilities, they should work properly with the constitution regularly, and honesty should be there. So that is also relation with the constitution. And if you go more further, this constitution is also nowadays helping India. In the ancient time also it helped India, and further also it will help India. So there are basic provisions if you talk about the constitution to check out the mispower led by the leaders. If any leader is using constitution on the, we can say, on the wrong track to profit himself or to penetrate other, to hurt other person, then there is a special provisions act and law also as per the punishment law for the people or for that person also, for that leader also. So constitution is actually not a written or a written document. We can say it can be available in both of that, but apart from that, we can say constitution is the theory where we are actually designing ourselves and we are also making ourselves well better. So this is the basic thing about the constitution. And if I talk about, as I have said you, 2 years, 11 months and 18 days are not a small time of the year or a gap. There's a long time. So it shows that how nicely, how gracefully, mindedly, and we can say they practically made the constitution, and also they established the constitution over the people of India in the year 1950. So it was completed in the 1949. So 26th January 1950 is also somehow known as the Constitutional Day, as well as the Republic Day too here, as we know that. Now let's understand what is the salient feature of the Constitution. Page number 15. What are the salient features? First of all, you need to understand what is the meaning of salient features. The features, we can say, on which democratic rule can be somehow working out according to the theory of a textbook. So my dear students, India has a democratic value of the custom. India has a democratic system of the government. General elections are held. Now general elections are held in every, we can say, every 5 years. Citizens above 18 years, like I am, are about, or they are allowed to vote their person. Person means to vote the elected person, the leader, the candidate. And somehow we can say that it is also that we cannot imagine the democracy. We cannot imagine the democracy without the constitution, without the election. And the people, we can say that all over the country play a role in establishing the constitution. So when they play the role in establishing the constitution, they also demand for their rights. They also demand for their needs. So laterly we can say that this is also one of the things where elections are the barometer of, or we can say the elections are the barometer of the democracy. If democracy needs to rule out, we need to take out the elections. Means we need to generate the elections. And then only these elections can be done. Representatives are kept who are to be selected from the elections. Now what is the work of the representative? A representative will be working for the people, by the people, to the people also, related to the government and related to the democracy also. So we need to understand that this every factor of the constitution is very great enough to understand internally, and furthermore this constitution is also working on the basis of welfare. Without welfare, any country is not gonna get support by its people. So we need to do the welfare to the people of our own nation. Infrastructure development, education development, health development, food development, and many more developments too here. So furthermore we can say in the election I would like to make you understand that there is a role of people also. Every voter is having a different role to select a different party, or the party which he is actually wishing to select. Every person. So any voter of a country can contest an election inspectively, and also we can say that of his or her own religion. They can go and stand as a candidate from the religion also. It is not like that any religion is boycotted to make their membership or to stand as a leader's post. Everybody is welcomed here. All the caste, especially the countries like India, everybody is welcomed here. And as I have said you that it is actually working for the government, and government is working related to the constitution. So country which we are living is must compulsory to have the constitution. Without that it will be not possible. So my dear students, we can say that every citizen enjoys the rules and regulations if he is honest and hardworking and also non-criminal. So nobody is going to harass him. He is free to live in his nation. So therefore we can say that every 5 years the elections are there, and every citizen enjoys the freedom to follow the religion in India or in any nation. They can follow to speak their own language. They are free to select their own land by paying the amount, and they can buy the land also. And also we can say that they are also free to give the speech and expression whenever it is needed. So that is the constitution of our nation. See, in this whole lecture, the theory which I made you understand, the concept which you understood today is related with the general constitutional assemblies and also other theories. So likewise, like Haley asked her mother that, mom, please tell me what will happen if the constitution is not there. Then the answer should be there, okay, without a constitution the country is not gonna work. Nobody will be in control and the economical growth will be somehow going down. So constitution is the general thing which we need here and which I am talking about. And preamble also. See my dear student, in some other lecture I'll make you discuss about the preamble too, and also I will try to make you understand about the theories related to the preamble and concept related to the preamble and why we need a preamble, why the constitution starts with the preamble. You know, there is a, you can say that in the preamble most of the things are written which can be seen in your school diaries too, that you need to understand. Whenever you are taking a pledge, it is also like a part of preamble. For example, we can say in the Indian constitutional or the preamble, we can say, we the people of human, it is written there. I'll read some of the lines here. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to Constitution of India, means we have taken oath to be follow and become the follower of the Constitution of India. And also in a sovereignty way, socialist way, we can say that secular way, democratic way, also will support in the republic way. Apart from that, and we are severely or we are abide to serve nation with full dignity and honesty also. Therefore, justice, social and economical policies also. It means that justice should be done without any fear, without any force, without any religion. So these all the things are written in the constitution and the preamble that you need to refer. Other than examples, you can go with the Google and you can refer there, and the book which I have made you to understand lesson number 3 about the constitutional development, chapter 3, page number 12, 13, 14 and 15, or we can say 13, 14, 15, you can revise by yourself. Till then you can take care and keep revising. Jai Hind.